It's great. And so where exactly does this leave me in the second act of your life?
We're gonna do this last big job, and then we're gonna dissolve the partnership.
This is not a game to me! Alright, this is a fucking way of life!
I got a fucking family!
Yeah, well, I got nothing! No one gives a fuck about me!
That right there was an honest-to-God realization. It may seem like Trevor's just trying to gain sympathy from Michael, but trust me, he's not. Trevor is an awful human being and a borderline psychotic, yet I've never related to anything in GTA 5 the way I did to this scene. When we grow up, friends fade. They move on. We lose most of them and we're lucky if we keep 2 or 3 around. But Trevor lost everything. Trevor wasn't even doing hard crime until he met Michael. He really loved Michael and Brad despite it only being a criminal relationship to them because that was his life. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have any kids. We see him enter a relationship with Miss Madrazo, and when she eventually goes back to her husband, he threatens to kill him if he lays a hand on her. We hear him sobbing on the way to Madrazo's house. Psychotic or not, Trevor is still a human being with morals and feelings. We see his own morals when he confronts Michael for the first time in a decade. He seems even angrier than Michael did when they discover Tracy being borderline sexually assaulted by a Hollywood douchebag. If we look at Trevor's tattoos, we can see a tattoo in memory of Michael. Who gets a tattoo of someone's name, dead or not, if the relationship is purely financial? You might feel bad if your boss dies. You'll probably attend the funeral if you guys were close, but you wouldn't go and get a tattoo of his name on your arm unless you really took him as a friend. And I mean a real friend. See, real friends aren't worried about what you can do for them. It's not about favors or money or status. A real friend just is happy to be with you and enjoys your company. We see Trevor lose his mind when he realizes his best friend in the world betrayed him, not only selling him out to the feds, but also plotting his own execution. Right from the start of the game, it's clear as day that Michael sold out Trevor and Brad and planned everything out. But Trevor gives him the benefit of the doubt and doesn't act on anything until he's absolutely sure without a shadow of a doubt that Michael planned on him being dead. Trevor eventually discovers Brad's body in North Yankton. Even with that knowledge, he wasn't able to pull the trigger on Michael. You could argue that he actually did right here when his gun jammed, but you can clearly see he moved it away from Michael and looked away before firing. He couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger. Even with all the betrayal and all the bullshit, Trevor still couldn't kill him. Trevor, the psychotic, bi-curious, sex-offending criminal, couldn't do something as simple as ending Michael when we see him in multiple shootouts throughout the entire game, because Michael is all Trevor has. Wade and Ron are friends with Trevor out of fear. They're employees. But Michael was his only true friend. There was a mutual respect. They weren't friends out of fear. Michael was his only true friend. Towards the end of the game, Trevor is truly alone. When Franklin chases him down at the end of the game, once again Michael betrays him and helps Franklin put down the rabid dog. You can see at this point Trevor doesn't want to live anymore. He just sits in the gas next to the burning car awaiting his fate. He doesn't fight back. He doesn't try to convince Michael and Franklin to spare him because he just doesn't care anymore. He has nothing to lose. He has nothing to live for. He crossed borders into America, the land of the free. And Trevor was free. Lonesomely free. He's lonesomely free. He has no one to spend his money or enjoy his life with. What's the point of living life if you're all alone? Loneliness is one of the worst feelings ever. Trevor is surrounded by many people, but in the end, he dies alone, with his only friends being the ones to pull the trigger. Because Trevor doesn't have anything in this world, and no one gives a fuck about him. And that is loneliness. Probably one of the worst feelings ever.
Fuck, kid.